Okay, what you see here is well over an acre of solid ivy, and it is thick. You'd need ropes to work on this bank, and it would take many hundreds of hours to get rid of all this ivy. Plus, there's a bunch of junked out cars underneath the ivy. They were put there to hold the soil in place. So, what happens if someone starts ripping out all the vegetation? The ideal would probably be to replace the ivy with something like salal. All it would take is an unlimited budget. At this point, I'm doing what I can with no money. My goals are to stop the ivy from spreading and get it off the trees. This whole area is a mess of brush and windfall. So my first job was to clear out enough junk so I'd have at least some kind of access from the county road. This big fir in front of my house was my number one target. The vines were too stuck to the tree to pull down, so I cut out a 4-foot strip all the way around the tree. Some of the vines were as big around as my ankle. I dug out the ivy at the base of the tree so I'd have a working area. It was easier to clear the ivy off some of the smaller trees. I'm glad I got to them when I did. This tree is just a few feet from the road, but it was a full-on expedition to get to it. Keep in mind, this is the upper part of the slope before it gets steep. Even in March, I can't see the ground beneath my feet. I'm climbing over a thick layer of brush and ivy. It would be easy to break an ankle. I ventured a little further downhill. In the heart of the ivy jungle, it knows no bounds. It covers the ground with a mat of vines and leaves 3 feet deep. It winds its stalks around everything, and it is cranking out berries to feed the birds who will spread the seeds all over the island. I'm working at the edge of the ivy patch. This is where I can take a stand to contain it so it doesn't spread. It's hard work. I'm digging out a mesh of roots that run just below the surface of the soil, rolling up balls of ivy and roots and piling them into a stack that I'll burn in my field. I think March is the best time to go at this. After the days get longer, before the trees and brush start to leaf out. I'm about done for this year. I've made a little progress. I also have a better grasp of what it would take to remove all the ivy from this area. It's more than I can do on my own.